Noel Buckley here from Knolly Bikes, and we're at Interbike 2009 with the guys from MTBR, and we're going to go through a little bit of a product discussion here and show you what's new for Knolly Bikes for this year. The product we're going to start on is a new frame for us. This is the Podium DH Frame. It's there's been a lot of interest about this bike since we showed some early development prototypes from last year. This is pretty much finished product. It's pre-production what we're showing here, but this is indicative of what the finished product will look like. In terms of geometry and performance of the bike, it's definitely full-on, modern DH race geometry. It's a 8.4-inch travel bike, bottom bracket's well under 14 inches, and head angles at 64 degrees. So it's a super maneuverable bike, really stable at high speed, great standover on the bike. Uses our 4x4 linkage technology, so the bike has exceptionally good pedaling characteristics while still being very supple. Initial travel, great bottom resistance, really good tire clearance on the bike, high lateral rigidity, all the things Knolly has been known for in the past. And a very accessible shock design on the bike for changing springs, just doing adjustments on the shock, super easy to do there. It's coming with several build kits on the bike. This one's showing more of a SRAM oriented build kit with the Vivid rear shock, with Boxer World Cup fork on the front, and obviously the EXO drivetrain and Elixir brakes on the bike. These will be starting to ship in around February to March of 2010. So we're going to talk about the new Delirium for Knolly. This is obviously the Delirium has been very much a staple bike in our product line. It's even won the Full Suspension All Mountain Bike of the Year award from MTBR. So we're obviously super proud about that. In this year, we've actually redesigned the bike from scratch. The current bike had been on the market for 3 years and had been a very, very successful product for us, has a really strong cult following out there, and is a fantastic, fantastic bike. We have a new model coming out in early 2010, and that's what we're showing here. There's been some pretty big changes to the bike. The most noticeable change is that we've basically dropped about a pound of weight out of the frame. The goal when we redesigned this bike was to improve every single aspect of the bike, so we didn't want to take the bike and cross-country-ified or anything like that. We wanted it to do what it does best, which is be a really great crossover all-mountain free-ride bike. It's a bike that a technical rider can have as their main bike, and they can do big days riding on it, and they can take it to the bike park and shuttle on it as well. And we didn't want to lose any of that ability of the product. We wanted the product to be still as core a product as it could be. But that being said, due to the development of some other products we've done, like the endorphin and the DH bike, we learned that there was areas we could take weight out of the bike and still keep it just as strong as the old frame. So like I said, main differences are the frame's pound lighter. We've improved the front end geometry to allow for better positioning, more upright seat post position. Cockpits move slightly forwards in the frame, so this allows the bike, even in the slack setting with big 6-7-inch forks on the front, to still have a really good pedaling and climbing position. Suspension geometry has been also tweaked on the design on the bike. The pedaling performance has been subtly improved, as has the technical riding performance of the bike, and the descending and braking performance of the bike have all been actually very slightly tweaked over the previous design. The shock's been inverted on the bike. This has actually allowed us to get a lot more standover height on the bike, and the seat tube lengths on the frames have all dropped in each respective size, and there's really, standover height's been improved, especially in the smaller frame sizes. And this is a small frame we're looking at here. This top tube clearance is actually improved by over 1.5 inches compared to previous generation small frame, and the extra small frame is actually over 2 inches in standover height better than the old frame was. So we're definitely really excited about this bike. Had a lot of customers on it who are, current owners of Delirium, have been really excited by the performance of the new product. So it's definitely not just a fancy makeover. It's definitely in the performance category a step up as well. So we have the endorphin here. This has obviously been a staple in the Knolly line for the last couple of years. Been a really strong seller for us. The endorphin is being moved more into a traditional all-mountain category. We had originally planned for the bike to do double duty kind of as a trail all-mountain bike, but we just found that it just rides better with bigger forks on the front. So it's pretty much like built for forks like this Fox 36 Talus or similar travel adjustable 6-inch forks are a really good match for this bike in terms of performance. So default shock is the RP23. We offer a variety of shocks with it, DHX Air, and also some coil shocks, I think, such as a Vivid, and the Cane Creek double barrel has actually been quite popular with this bike. We basically learned, like I said, we're going to move this bike more into the all-mountain category. It's with 6-inch travel adjustable forks. It's really good performance match for the product here, and then we're just continuing with this frame. It's been very successful for us. It's just under 6-inch travel on the back of the bike, and build kits are going to reflect a little bit more of the all-mountain nature of the bike, going with 235 tires, single ply tires on the bike, and bar and stand that are more, and cranksets that are more into the all-mountain category. So this is a very, very early prototype. It's a model we're tentatively calling the Endorphin XC, and people are going to find this a little crazy, but what's sitting here is a 24.8 pound bike from Knolly. Yes. Frame weight's going to be about 6 pounds in production, and that's with the Fox RP23. It's basically designed for forks in the 120 to 140 millimeter travel range. So this is sitting here with a Fox F120 on here. Basically, this is our kind of enduro trail style bike, and we'd originally planned that the regular endorphin would kind of suit that role, but it's a bike that's been happier riding with a bigger fork, like I mentioned before. And we're now going to use the new endorphin XT platform to kind of explore that more trail bike market. So some cool things about this bike: it's 125 millimeter travel, and like all of our bikes, that's fully progressive travel, so it's very high quality feel in the bike. It's got a little more chain growth than our other bikes, so pedaling wise, it's a little more pedaling oriented bike. Still maintains the qualities of Knolly products, and that is that it's has great pedaling performance. It has great suspension feel on the bike. It's very active under braking. The secondary 4x4 linkage here allows us to control the shock rate as does on all of our bikes. Obviously, we can see this is minimized quite a bit compared to the standard endorphin, but the design is definitely very plush and very well controlled suspension feel, yet having quite a good pedaling performing feature on the bike. And in terms of build kits, we definitely be seeing this going on with a lot of forks and like the even 5.5 inch travel fork range and lighter build kits on this product. So this will be, expect to see this around mid 2010 as a very different looking finished bike. Thank you for coming by and checking out Knolly bikes for 2009 going into 2010. Everything's online, knollybikes.com. Brand new website went up 3 days ago, so check it out and see our new product.